それは種全体の本能に基づく悲願であり、我は種全体の惜しみない奉仕のたどり着いた賜物。
No matter where you look, humanity is constantly being called into question. Morality, duality, right from wrong, good and bad. What exactly makes a human human? Or rather, what exactly brings value to a human's life? Yoshihiro Togashi has an innate talent for bringing his characters to life in his stories. I believe Hunter x Hunter succeeds in doing what other anime fail at by making every character feel real, and by extension, you can see things from their perspective. And I believe no other character embodies that realism other than the malevolent and yet benevolent Ant King, Meruem. Meruem is a character derived solely on instinct and desire. Once the desire has been satiated, he's quick to move on to the next thing. However, bearing the title of king, he wants to prove that he is better than every human by being the best in every category there is. That is the plan initially, of course. One could argue it's very childish of him to do such. However, I'd argue that's actually something that a king would do. If you want people to respect your kingdom, you have to give them a reason to respect your kingdom and show them exactly what king you are. However, childish as it may be, it's a child that actually opens up his eyes a bit and helps him see what exactly he's missing, for lack of a better term. Enter Komugi, an at first glance ordinary girl. However, not only is she able to beat Meruem in something which is, to everyone's knowledge, unheard of, but she's able to continuously beat him and best him and get the better of him. This girl, this ordinary girl with no strength, with no brute force, is able to be better than him at something that he's supposed to be the best at, or something that he perceives himself to be better than her or have the potential to be better than her at. This is something new to him. This loss, this experience, these experiences are something that he needs and is going to shape his character in the future. Meruem, now coming to terms with the fact that he actually is starting to enjoy Komugi's company, decides to ask her a question that bounces back at him in a way that shakes him to his core. Despite trying to get under Komugi's skin intentionally and trying to shake some fear into her, her unwavering personality and her just tenacity is what makes Meruem start to respect Komugi on a level that he doesn't even have for his own royal guards. Being so impressed by Komugi, he even bothers to ask her for her name, but when she asks him the same in return, it shakes him to his core because his entire existence was built around the theme of him being the king, that when it was finally time for him to have a name other than a title, he didn't know his name.
何とおっしゃられるのですか?
世は何という。
The question plagued him so badly, he went to ask his royal guards about what his name was, but all of the answers they gave him were unsatisfactory. They all revolved around him being this king, this figure that knows all and that is all. And I guess he sort of latched on to the idea because rather than questioning himself, he decided to go back to what he could always count on, his desires and his instinct. And in that instinct, I guess he decided that rather than trying to figure it out for himself, he can fall back on his failsafe, which is him being the king. However, Komugi once again threw a wrench in his entire plan, whereas even as he decided to stop questioning himself on the way to what I can assume is a bluff, which was him killing Komugi, wanted to kill Komugi, rather, seeing her in a state of danger aggravated him even more than questioning himself, which is what I like to believe, him saying that would he kill her was just an excuse to go see her in the first place, as subconsciously as humans we tend to make excuses to want to see the people that we care about most. Having saved Komugi, it opened up his eyes to a different side of humanity, a calm, unique yet beautiful side of humanity worth protecting. Even if it's weak, it's still something that should be protected. It's in this moment that I believe, had it not been for the appearance of Pito, Meruem would have killed everything in sight. Being that Pito, his one salvation, the one person that he could trust and that he knew could save Kamuki was here. All he had left to do was to confront the intruders that had showed up. Now, I would argue this clash with Netero was just as important as his relationship with Kamuki, for it is that in this fight with Netero, he sees that not only is Kamuki special and that there are other humans that deserve a shot to live as well, in his eyes of course, and this broadened his horizons in such a way that can only be described as eye-opening experiences. With this clash with Netero being his standpoint on other humans have the capacity to do great things too, whether it's that his only views on humanity prior to meeting these two were that they were to be used as livestock and food sources for the ants wherever they take over whenever he was able to snuff out all the humans, and this would be the new station for the ants and everything like that. However, that doesn't really go to plan, and Netero shows him why exactly that Kamuki, as well as him, and there are more other humans that are special that need to live as well. But Netero's not just fighting for the special humans, but for all of humanity. And it's in Netero's final moments that Meruem also sees, once again, one of his major faults, and that being underestimating humans, as Netero activates the poor man's flower, besting Meruem, and yet another human besting the Ant King once again. This leads to another awakening of sorts. Now being revived with the help of Yuppie and Poof, he knows that his time is limited, and the only ways he can think to spend his last few minutes on this earth in the first place is none other than with the first person to ever show him the beauty of humanity. He decides to spend his last few minutes with Kamuki, the girl who beat him so many times. Being that this is his last final moments with Kamuki, he finally understands what his purpose is to be happy in this moment with Kamuki, and she shares the same sentiment as well. Connections are what make us beautiful as humans, or at least that's what I like to believe. To get rid of desire, get rid of instinct, and just live solely for the moment, or live for what you truly enjoy. That's the beauty of being human. That is the beauty of Meruem, the malevolent yet benevolent Ant King. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know, what do you thought about Meruem?